I said, what's up? It's your boy Twashe. Today we'll be talking about nothing in particular.
The GK60. What's not to love here? But first, I know I'm going to get asked this question, so let's get this out of the way. GMMK or GK61, 64, which to buy? You should definitely get this board over the GMMK Compact. Yes, you should definitely get this board over the GMMK Compact. Why? Upgradability. The GMMK PCB doesn't fit aftermarket cases. You can take the GK64, 61 and stick it in many readily available cases. Software. The GK64, 61 has received a ton of negative reviews for its software, which they have improved, and we will get into that in a bit in this video, but even so, it is more customizable and accurate and flexible than the glorious software. Build quality. It's the details, man, and little things go a long way. The GK64 I received had its stabs lubed quite nicely, which goes a long way for making a keyboard feel and sound luxurious. Point is, not only is it the best value for your money, it's also a better board, period. Full disclosure, on top of the aforementioned reasons, Glorious has pulled some shady business on me, and I've noticed with a few other viewers. I'm sharing this in hopes that this helps anyone who gets stuck in this situation with them. Glorious has a window in which they give you to modify and cancel orders. My story is, I ordered some stuff from the site at like 2 a.m., then realized I wanted to change some things the next morning. I sent an email immediately to Glorious. They waited till my item shipped to respond to my email and told me I would have to pay shipping to return the items. I've never had to deal with this with any business before. It's a terrible way to do business because you risk your reputation and end up dealing with pissed off customers. This exploits the customer's time and commitment. I've seen some customers go to Reddit to complain publicly, and only then will Glorious do something about it. If you are stuck in a situation like this with Glorious, and the best way to avoid the return shipping fee is to refuse the package. If it was dropped off at your doorstep, just take it to a UPS store unopened and let them know that you would like to refuse the package. Anyways, I hope this helps. Okay, now let's talk about this board. Whether you get the GK64 or GK61, it's the same board with different form factors. They both are hot swappable, no soldering required, RGB is beautiful and customizable. They also align perfectly with standard keycap top legends, not like my DZ60, which for some reason has a RGB at the bottom of each switch. Amazing, a cheaper board gets it right. You can get the PCB only, or if you are new to the game, you can order the kit, which comes with a USB cable, aluminum backplate, and a plastic case. Everything is pretty much assembled. Oh, it also comes with a keycap puller and a key switch puller. All you have to do is pop in the switches and keycaps. So that's just what I did. Without touching anything, I just popped switches and slapped on some keycaps. Just for fun, I stuck my Holy Pandas on the board. That's right, these switches cost more than the board itself. I seriously underestimated this board. I thought I was going to have to mod it to get some class out of it. To my pleasant surprise, the board oozes quality out of the box. The stabs, although PCB mounted, are pre-lubed and they've done a really good job. They could use some clipping, but the sound and feel is already satisfactory. This is a huge plus. Okay, the software. This is the most complained about feature of this board, and it's why I avoided it for so long. My biggest complaint thus far is that this board came with a quick start guide but didn't include a link to the software. In fact, some of the instruction is in the product description of wherever you buy this board, including the link to their software, which is downloaded from a shady looking Google Drive. After downloading the software and risking my computer with some viruses, the software didn't recognize my device. So I had to do some digging again. to find that the company does have a site where they upload new versions of their software. I'll include this below. When you get this board, please God, download the latest software. Not only does it actually work, it is leaps and bounds from where the software originally was. It has become more intuitive. You can customize everything, reprogram any key, media controls, PC shortcuts, and it even includes macros which control your mouse and presets in-game. I personally wouldn't use in-game macros. I kind of feel like they're cheating, but to each its own, you know? I cheat in spades. The software is now easy to use, but the board itself is in desperate need of a user's manual. The quick start guide included clearly shows a language barrier. The sound feature is really cool. It basically listens to sounds around you and your RGB does a little dance to it. But I don't really ever see myself using it unless I am blasting music while typing something, or I think it's more of a way to flex your setup with friends if you have an intro song for it. It's a pretty PCB. It has a date where I'm assuming it's the production date. There's the microphone for the sound feature. This board comes with a Bluetooth wireless version that I was planning to do a latency test with, but it turns out that I didn't order that version. I spent an hour trying to turn Bluetooth on, and only after taking the entire board apart that I realized I ordered without Bluetooth. Sorry, you guys. Inserting and removing switches were really easy. This is the easiest board I've worked with. The GMMK and even the GK60 sometimes make me feel like I'm about to break the board yanking out switches. The version I have is the GK64, which is a form factor that includes the directional keys and a dedicated delete button. Keep in mind, this has nothing to do with the board, just the form factor. You can always get the GK61, which is like your standard 60%. I'm not a fan of this form factor, because I don't like moving my hands to the directional keys when I type. I use autocomplete and move my cursor around a lot with the keys in the bottom right. It disrupts my flow. Of course, I could reprogram the board for the directional keys to be at JKL, but I wouldn't know what to reprogram the directional keys as. It is just not as convenient of a place for me. The other issue with this form factor, and something I completely forgot about, was the key set. It's less common to find supported keycap sets. The shift button is smaller, and I find that the standard backspace key fits well, although I was also missing some additional keys, which I had to kind of jerry-rig by using keys from my other board. Control, function, both shift keys and the delete key aren't standard sizes. Look, there's not much to say about this board other than if I can do my recent purchases over again, I would definitely go for this. It has become solid with the software updates provided, and it is a great heart for your custom keyboard in whatever you decide to build. Overall, it has standard features which we have come to love and expect from any 60% keyboard. You can now use your extra money to purchase a nice case and some keycaps. So who is the board for? This board can go with any build, whether you are new to the game or you've been building boards for a while. It's a standard, now with better software and hot swap capabilities. So who wants to win this board? I'm not keeping it. I'm giving it away, but you'll have to buy your own keycaps and switches. To enter to win, you must subscribe to my channel, leave a like on this video, then head over to my Instagram and leave a comment on the GK64 photo, and make sure you follow me. Peace.